Today I'm going to share with you how to use a variety of yoga props. So let's get started. So to begin, we're going to talk about the yoga blanket. You may notice this looks like a Mexican blanket. You can use one of those if you have it at home. And if you don't have a yoga blanket, you can use any blanket that you do have at home, okay? Yoga blankets can be used for a variety of reasons. So I am sitting here in Sukhasana Easy Pose. Sometimes sitting in a cross-legged position is uncomfortable in your low back or your hips. You can take your blanket, you can fold it up, lift your hips up and slide it underneath, and that little bit of height will give some support to your low back and then begin to relieve any discomfort that you have. So that's one way to use the blanket. Another way, number two, is to support and cushion your knees or your hands. So if you're here in tabletop position, hands and knees, and you find that having your knees against your mat is uncomfortable, or having your hands pressing into your mat is uncomfortable, take your blanket. Place your hands on top of your blanket, or slide your blanket back. Let that blanket provide cushion to your knees. That should feel pretty good. Now we'll go over a third way to use your blanket. And this is one of my preferred options, Shavasana. Lying back in Shavasana, getting all comfy, cozy, just throw that blanket on top of you. So comfortable. You can have the blanket on your lower body. It can cover you from your neck down to your toes. If you have an eye pillow or an eye mask at home, that's another option. You can place it over your eyes as you lie in Shavasana, all snug and comfy cozy. So now I'm going to share with you how to use a bolster. These are really big pillows, really cushiony. Some are softer, some are more dense. The one I have is really dense, really full. So if you don't have a bolster at home, but you have like a big pillow, it serves the same purpose as a bolster. So let's use it. So you can use this bolster to sit upon. Cross-leg position relieves the low back, just like the blanket did. This actually feels a little bit better to me. Also, you can use your bolster or your pillows at home in more restorative, relaxing classes. I'll give you some examples. If you're in child's pose, you're folded forward, you can just hug onto your bolster. I'll demonstrate. So you have that bolster under your chest, under your cheeks, resting back. If you find that you're in child's pose, lying on the bolster, and there's a little bit of pressure in your knees, take that blanket again. Let that blanket rest upon your knees, underneath your knees, and get comfy cozy. I'll show you two more ways that you can use your bolster. So you can have it vertical and just lay back on it. Also, have that blanket nearby. Give yourself that cushion. Legs extended. This was great. I love restorative yoga. All the props, all the bolsters and cushions are restorative. So I'll show you one more way to use your big pillow or your bolster. You can take your big pillow towards the end of your mat, let it lie horizontally. You can recline back, let your legs float on top of that big pillow, that bolster. Sometimes lying flat with your legs extended is uncomfortable in your low back, so you can use that blanket, and also by elevating your feet, your legs just a little bit, gives you a little bit more comfort in Shavasana. I could lay here all day. It's amazing. So now I'm going to share with you how you can use a strap. If you don't have a strap, a yoga strap at home, you can use a robe belt or something along those lines. I don't recommend using anything electrical, okay? The yoga strap has multiple purposes. It can do a multitude of things for you, okay? Okay, so let's hold the strap. Let's just pull it either end. Give us a big shoulder stretch, okay? Another option is if our hands don't touch behind our backs, take that strap, throw it behind you, hands together, okay? Another option, if you're trying to get your hands to touch in a cow face pose, they don't touch. Just toss that strap over one shoulder, take one end of the strap in one hand, opposite end of the strap in the other hand, just hold on to it. Another option to use your strap is when standing up in balance poses, when extending your leg out. So I'll demonstrate. So you're standing in mountain pose. You have the strap in either end of your hand. Let the strap come underneath one of your feet. You can keep that strap in either hand, or you can transition both ends to one hand. Okay, it's up to you. Now, shift over to one side. Begin to lift your leg. Extending your leg out wherever it needs to go. So your hands never have to touch your feet. You have your strap for support. Keeping a little bend in your knee. If you need, take a deeper bend. Not having to touch your feet, use your strap. It's perfect. Another option, if you want to get closer towards the earth, put both feet underneath your strap, holding on to either end. Get as tall as you can get tall. Exhale, fold forward. You can walk your hands down your strap and just hold on to it. You never have to touch your feet. It's bringing the earth to you. Using props or tools in your toolbox to keep you safe in your practice, allow you to go further in your practice. Take it all the way back up, nice and smooth. So those are a couple of ways to use your strap. There are multiple ways, other options that you can do as well. So now, let's talk about how you can use your blocks. Blocks are my second favorite prop. They serve so many purposes. If you don't have blocks at home, you can use some books, or if you have sturdy Tupperware, you can use those. So let's do it. So come to the top of your mat, place your blocks down. So we're folded forward. Hands are on our blocks. Never having to deeply bend your knees to get your hands to your mat. If you want to, you can. And note the blocks have three sides. So you can get higher, or you can get lower. You decide. Okay. Another option, you step in your leg back, drop a knee down. You want to get a little closer to your mat? Adjust the height of your block. You can fold forward. Lots of options here. I'll show you another way you can use your block. You can allow your blocks to support your back. Example, fish toes. So turn your block to the preferred height. You're going to lie back on the block, let it rest between your shoulder blades. If you have a second block, adjust the height. You're going to lie back, let the back of your head rest on your block, let your back rest on your opposite block. A third way to use your blocks to support your legs, very similar to the bolster. So place your blocks towards the end of your mat, lay back, extend your legs over your blocks. I'll show you two more ways you can use your blocks. I'm sitting once again in easy pose, crisscross applesauce. If this is uncomfortable in your hips, take your blocks, let your blocks rest under your thighs, gives you some support. And remember, there's different heights to the blocks. You decide what you need. The last option I'm going to share with you for using your blocks is to sit on your block. So you're in easy pose. Lift your hips up, slide your block under. So these are just a few ways that you can use your props. Blocks, straps, bolsters, and pillows are amazing props, tools in your toolbox that you can use for your practice.